Hello. Okay, I want to go over the difference between plants and animal products when it comes to fat and what's the difference and what does it mean, what is saturated, what is unsaturated. So just a quick fat 101 lesson. So there's different types of fats in science. So it's also sometimes called lipids. Triglycerides are the types of fats that are found in food, and you can categorize them by their chemical structure. So it's saturated versus unsaturated, and it's referring to how much hydrogen is saturating the carbon chain. If you're a chemical nerd, this could be enticing. If you're not, just listen. But a carbon chain, if it's fully saturated with hydrogen, it's going to act like a solid fat at room temperature. So that would be butter, that would be lard, that would be something that's very solid at sitting on your counter. Now, if you apply heat to it, you can make it melt. But an unsaturated, so this is when the carbon chain is missing a hydrogen and then there's a double bond between the carbons, that's going to be liquid at room temperature. So think olive oil, canola oil, avocado oil even. There's going to be a more fluid-like substance to it when it's at room temperature. So this is not true all of the time. Coconut oil is considered saturated, and that's plant-based, but it's solid at room temperature. So a lot of times people will say saturated is animal, unsaturated is plant, and that's not true every single time, but most of the time. And so if you're getting into which types of fats have which effects on disease, there's a huge relationship between that has been established, but also very questioned, saturated fats and heart disease. And so what can happen is there's a lot of factors that go into the relationship. When you have a lot of saturated fat, like lard, think bacon, you typically don't have a lot of fiber. When you have unsaturated fatty acids, like from avocado or nuts or almonds, walnuts, all of those things, you're gonna have a lot more fiber. So in my professional opinion, and this is not research-based, this is anecdotal, when you have a lot of unsaturated fatty acids, you're also having a lot of fiber. When you have saturated fatty acids, you're not having much fiber, and that's gonna have more links to hypertension, to cholesterol, to HDL, to triglycerides. There's gonna be a lot more evidence-based dietary behaviors to fiber than there's definitely two types of thinking when it comes to saturated fat and heart disease. So if you're trying to lower your risk for health, but I would ask, what is the outcome that you're looking at? A lot of people will say animal fat is bad because of the saturated, but looking at the totality, typically when you have more animal-based products, there is a lot of other behaviors that go with that. So nutrition is nuanced, and so is health. It's complex and it's nuanced, and there's a lot more that goes into it. There is long-term research on saturated fat and cholesterol, but I think a lot of it can be questioned because there's a lot of other behaviors that go into that. And there's sometimes a lot of politics that go into it too. Just food for thought. As of right now in 2025, focus on fiber. Science is ever evolving. It doesn't mean that the science before was wrong. It just means we learn more. Hope this helps.